Welcome back to Happily Ever After by the Raj family.
Family.
So it's been quite a ride for us in recording these podcasts, and we pray and hope it is a blessing for you as we share our views, our emotions, and all of that.
Actually, it has been beautiful for me, even though it is a lot of work to get started
Yes.
and just plan and learn new things. But it's beautiful to just have this special time where we can talk freely, just raw,
Yeah.
expressing how
Exactly.
we feel, our stories, and even learn more about each other through it as we share it with all of you as well.
Yes.
Praying that
Yes,
it will
yes,
be a
yes.
blessing our journey as we are definitely still learning a lot and praying and yearning for God's blessing and guidance and his way to be the one leading us in our choices and ways and in our characters. So what's the topic for today? What are we going to talk about?
Well, it is going to be very interesting. It is on three things I wish I knew when I was single.
Yeah, those are good questions. What are some things that we wish, looking back, when you can look back, then you're like, I wish, or someone told me earlier, or I would have saved myself from certain things. One thing that, there's so many things I wish I knew
I
sooner.
agree. I agree.
It's like, I think we could write a book. But definitely time teaches you a lot. And I wish, though, that someone would have told me more clearly. This was only like after, at the end of my 20s, I heard this Christian young couple shared something that gave me so much freedom and peace. Which was, they put it this way. They said, when a guy is ready, you won't have to be wondering and be confused. When he's ready, he will act ready and confident. What do you think
I
about
agree.
that?
I agree. When a guy is ready, he is ready. He will make it known to you that he is ready.
He will be excited, he will be confident, he will be like, if he has the clarity from the Lord and from what he sees, he's like, this is what I envision and I have God's peace and he will give the steps. But no one told me that before. And for years I thought, sometimes they're not maybe ready, but they will be and you have to wait or maybe you have to help them out. And so that creates a lot of pressure as a lady to try to figure out the heart of a guy when maybe they are even not clear what they're feeling. And it's okay to feel like that. But if ladies, we were taught that a guy, when he's ready, he will be the leader in the sense he won't be like, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure. He will be like, this is what I want, and I'm excited, and I want to talk to her. And yes, mentors can help, good friends can help, and there are, counselors that will guide us in that way as singles, for us way as mentors for the guy, to give them, some guidelines but as ladies, we can rest assured that the man that sees value in us and God is telling them green light, they will give steps.
They will take steps
So-
for sure.
Yeah, take steps. So that was a huge thing that and they said it in a way that was kind of, we can say, harsh, but it was very clear. They said, if a guy is not ready and is going around the bush and is not being clear and you don't know, it's like we're in a gray zone with this guy, just dump him. He is not really wanting you and he doesn't know how to say it, or he doesn't know, maybe he has other options, or he's just going. So I was like, wow, that's kind of like harsh, but
Honestly, I agree with that. Dump him because he doesn't know what he wants in his life. If he is clear, if he is ready, he will take steps. If he is not ready, what's going to happen is he is going to see other people. He's going to weigh out his pros and cons with the girl and several other girls, see which ones are the best. This is not like, it's not like a thing that you buy at a store. You can weigh out your options and see if this will work or not, and evaluate and not give a proper answer. These are people's hearts, that is involved in it. And I agree with them. Dump the guy if he is not very clear, because the guys that are very clear, they will make it very clear to the girl that they are clear. And also, it will not necessarily put the girls in a panic mode or in desperation, because a lot of girls that I've seen is when the guy is not ready and they think that the guys are ready, but when they find out that they are not ready, they're emotionally engaged, emotionally connected with the guy. Now what happens is they want to make sure that this thing works. This thing, the relationship goes through. Like they will start a relationship or they will continue to stay in the relationship. And it's a whole lot of turmoil unnecessarily built in the girl.
Definitely, it makes you, yeah, go on like a roller coaster ride. Sometimes you're high, sometimes you're super low, you're super confused. You feel you might need to be the initiator somehow, or somehow, have a conversation. And I do believe if needed, if something is really great, you can ask directly and be like, hey, I feel this way. If it's mutual, I'm open to consider, but if not, I have to back off, because you cannot be forever like on the waiting as like, will you choose me or not? If the guy chooses you, good. If not, you're moving on with the Lord. And so once I heard that from this Christian couple, I was like, thank you, God, for showing me this revelation, because now I don't have to be like they're the poor one waiting and confused, but I can walk confidently. And if they don't catch up with me, I'll keep going. Someone faster and stronger, God will make them catch up with me.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, I'm losing my time, I'm losing my energy, and I might be losing what God is having ahead in store for me. So that was a huge one that I wish I knew sooner. Because it might not be the person and it might not be the time.
Yeah.
So God can make it happen, but you don't have to be in that
You don't have to
limbo.
be the in charge.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, there is no set formula or a method to get a girl. A lot of guys think that there is a certain way to do, and they follow a lot of people on Instagram or TikTok.
Trends.
Get trends, yeah. Try to understand how to get a girl. We need to remember that it is not, how do I put it? It is not something that you could manipulate and get it, because in reality it is manipulation when you're trying to use a certain formula to get girls. And there are people that take pride in doing that, thinking, yeah, I can get any girl I want to. And guess what? In reality, you're just manipulating the girl. It is not like she is the one for you. You're manipulating to get the other person. And when you try to manipulate and get the other person, you yourself are actually digging a grave for you, because that person might not have true love on you in the first place. And God might not be the one that is bringing you both together, but you are manipulating and bringing these girls to you, thinking that you have a talent there. I know I have a friend that thinks that he can evaluate a girl in a second. And guess what? He has missed out on a lot of good quality girls, thinking that he knows the formula, he has decoded the girls. It is not true. The only true thing is, when God brings people together, it is He who does the job. It is not me trying to put things together and make you attracted to me. God puts the love in you, God puts the love in me, and God brings both of them together. And then, of course, we have to work on our end too. But when God has not put the love in you, but I'm thinking that God has put the love in me, and I'm trying to make you fall for me, then it is a manipulation. I will do everything you want, and I will be the best person you will ever see in your single life, of course. But guess what happens? right after we get married, I am tired of pretending all these good things that I've been doing,
And the
right?
real person comes
And the
out.
real person comes out, and the girl is wondering, he was not like this before. Why is he like this right now? And the guy is wondering, oh, I'm tired of doing these things. She's never satisfied with all the things that I've been doing. But guess what? I started it. I started it showing something that who I am not in the first place, but that has attracted you. And I've been doing something and doing and something and doing something that is not part of me. And now I'm exhausted doing it. So I'm frustrated with you, you know. So
Wow.
that is, I think, very important for men to realize that even if you're single, even if you're in your 30s and you're single, don't think that there is a formula to get girls. If you are single, God might be keeping you single for a reason. Do you need to grow? Absolutely. You do have to grow in your values, in your personality, in your characters, and all of that. But you cannot say that you don't know how to get girls and that is why you're single. When the time is right, when you have done your homework in yourself, in your personality, in your character, God will bring the right girl to you. And guess what? When He brings the girl, you will not have to pretend as someone else. You will be the same person, and the girl will be so attracted to you, even with your quirks.
It's so true, and it's the most liberating combination.
Yeah.
And when you were saying that, it came to my mind that after so many years and seeing so many times that young people go through relationships and it doesn't work, and it seems to be getting harder because it's not just people in the church, then you're matched, but it has to be very unique combination of personalities that match, visions of life that match, values that you hold as core foundation, and your beliefs that God has put in your heart, they need to match. And wow, so many things. Culturally, you need to somehow match.
Yes.
Yes. And that might be for another podcast, culture. But I came to say marriage is a miracle. Love is a miracle. Marriage is a miracle that only God can perform. And like you were saying, God needs to put the love in our heart for that person's heart and life as they are.
Yes.
And God needs to put that heart in both hearts to unite for marriage.
Absolutely. I want to finish off the thought. There are people that have told me that I don't know how to take steps to get a girl. And one of the friends actually was trying to help me to get a girl.
Wow.
And he would tell me what to share and what to do. And I would just, like a little kid, I would follow every single steps. Nothing happened there. Nothing happened there. The funny thing is...
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, yes. I'm glad too. Because the girl was not necessarily... She had interest in me. But then she was just interested in the attention that I was giving her. She was really not interested in me. So I was trying to back off, and then this friend would say, oh no, she's just trying to play hard to get. So you give these answers. So when I gave these answers, she would be frustrated, like, oh, what is going on? And then finally I had to take a step. I'm like, you know what?
Was he married?
No, he's still single.
Ooh. No.
That's why I'm saying there is no set formula to get a girl. It is God who brings the girl to you. And for girls, it's the same thing. It is God who brings the guy to you. Neither of you should manipulate. Neither of you should think there is a certain formula to attract another person. But it is your character. It is your personality. Again, it is your values that you develop. Pray to God, develop that, and then the other person that God puts love in will be attracted to you, even without you knowing it.
So true. And I just want to add to that. I think your point is so good. We could talk the whole time about that point. it's that you were saying, yeah, that there's nothing we can do to make it happen. Only God needs to do it. And then we need to be surrendered to Him.
Yes.
And then we need to be confident in Him.
Yes.
So that we can be ourselves with no fear of they won't like me, so I need to pretend. The moment you are like, I'm tired of trying to fit in, to be patient and just all about my boyfriend or my girlfriend, but just be real and honest with how you feel, where you're at, where you want to go, and then you're not trying to cover up who you truly are, then you're free. You're free, you're liberated, and the person that loves you for who you are, and God has planted that seed, so it's the best. There's no formula, but those, I would say, are some of the foundation. If we could say, you know, it's God doing the miracle of planting the seed of love, number one. Number two, you being surrendered to the Lord. So even if what God is bringing is not exactly what you thought, you are surrendered to Him, and you will see the signs that God is behind it. So you won't have all your like, oh no, I wanted this perfect pastor. I wanted this perfect girl that is like a model like this and like that and like that. But you will be with surrender to God's plan for you, that it will fit perfectly.
Yeah.
And then, the third step, be confident. Be confident in who you are. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because that's more attractive than a lie that later on in marriages, then they say, oh, you find out the real person. And it's so disappointing.
And it's draining for the other person that is pretending to be that thing that they are not, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be someone else. I'm trying to do all things, but that is not my personality. And then how long will I be doing that?
And you
It's
always
draining.
wonder as well, when they truly know who I am, will they like me?
Exactly.
And so it's like you're super insecure. So, Paul, that's a huge one. So you shared that one. Now it's my turn again.
Yes.
Something I wish I knew before I was single. Something else had come to my mind, but it totally slipped my mind. But another thing I wish I knew, is that I could be myself. I guess it goes back to that, because, and I could just be open. I didn't have to be a people pleaser type of person in the relationship. I could just be truly myself. And when the person that God had in mind would be there with me, they would like me just for who I am. Oh, I remember. The point that goes kind of along this is I also had friends and acquaintances that they were like, oh, you know, to attract a guy, this is now from the lady's perspective, you need to change your hairstyle and maybe even color it and put more makeup and dress more provocative. I mean, it was not said exactly like that, but like dress more like attractive, so that the guy will kind of see a little bit more and then feel, or even, you know, be more open with how you express physically, because I was kind of reserved and I was like, I was always friendly. I didn't mind if a guy would kind of, you know, do a little tap here and there or give a hug, but I didn't like to be too flirty, touchy, because if that's not the person that is going to be my husband, then what are we doing, you know? So I wanted to be friendly, very friendly and open, but reserved, not over familiar like it's my husband. So, but they were like, oh, but that way the guy, you know, won't have the feelings. So maybe you need to touch more and flirt a little more. So I was like, okay. So as girls, we are taught we need to, you know, maybe even do some surgeries and just pretend and cover ourselves up and change our hair colors and just change to fit into what someone might feel attracted. But guess what? Those that are looking for externals actually are just superficial. Yes, there's beauty, and for each one, beauty is a different way. But when the person God has for you, and this I found with my amazing husband, is that even if I'm sick, wake up with my hairs like this, or I'm working and I'm just all messed up, he still finds me attractive. And even sometimes he would say, you know, if you're not all so put together and you're like just working and a little more messy, it's also attractive to see a girl
Yes.
that it's real. So that is a true grounded man with like a deep, I don't know how to say it, but I think that many times this world pushes for superficiality. In us as ladies, we act superficial, guys act superficial, and then we look for superficials. But is that lasting? Is that true love?
It's not.
That's not
It's
gonna last. And so if there's one thing I wish I knew and I didn't fall into the traps, is that physical appearance. And I'm not saying, look like you'd never take care of yourself, never wash your hair and look all messed up and don't wash your face and just smell terrible. Like, that's not it. Be clean, be attractive in the sense of like neat and with taste and be hygienic and have style, but don't over focus and now you need to change everything about who you are so that someone will actually like you. If someone doesn't like you, your heart and who you are, they don't truly love.
Yeah.
Period.
Definitely not. How much ever modifications you do, it's not going to
No.
attract.
Wow. So
Well, second point for me is it goes along the same lines. Men have this understanding, or I think I would blame it all on Hollywood. The more muscles men have, they think they will be attracted by women. They'll be attracted to women. And that is not true. That is not true at all. Women, most of the women that have good qualities, they don't go behind men that are huge, that have huge muscles. They are more attracted to the heart. They are more attracted to the values. Now, I'm not saying I'm not against having a good physique. I'm not against taking care of your health. I'm not against going to the gym or working out. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm saying that if you think that is what is going to attract a woman to you, that is wrong. You might be attracted, but it might not necessarily always be a high quality woman that will be attracted to you. How many times while on the road you would have seen a fat guy with a model like girl? How many times have you seen that? And vice versa too. In my high school, when I went to write my exam, there are other schools that come and write exam. We call it as public exam, but that's a different story. We all were like wondering how this happened, because this guy was really nice and fit, and the girl was around 300 pounds. I do believe the girl had a hypothyroidism or something like that. But they both were a couple. Imagine that. So outward looks, physique, just because you have muscles doesn't mean a girl is going to be attracted to you. And a lot of girls have complained, I have heard them, saying that this guy is all good with muscles, but he is self-absorbed and he doesn't give enough time for me, So my second point is, don't ever think just because you are buff, a girl is going to be attracted to you. It's a Hollywood type of imaginary thing that they have made us to build up in our minds. And genuine women, they're not going to worry about how buff, how muscular you are. They will definitely look for signs as to you taking care of your health, but not necessarily if you have more muscles, she'll be more attracted to you. I'm sorry, that's not true.
very true, very true. And again, I think it falls into the superficiality.
Yeah.
Yes, there's certain type of maybe attraction at a first glance, but then what else do you have to offer? If that's all you have nothing. But if you have more with added, build up body, well, praise the Lord. But, and the other thing is that our bodies, they change with time. They will change through, they will go through different
Absolutely.
stages. So,
Absolutely.
and because I'm super skinny or bigger, that doesn't mean that I cannot gain some pounds or lose some pounds. So
Yes.
I think it's the mindset, the willingness to work, to not be like abandoned, but really be actively, trying to take care of our health, our body. It's a very important aspect. I think my third point in things I wish I knew when I was single, it's not to be naive. To just be a little more aware and analytical, because I was very naive for my early 20s and very like super trusting. Like I trusted fully. If a guy said, I love you, oh, he loves me and no one else. If a guy says, so with words, as ladies, you can get very entangled. But I wish I knew to pray more before I would give all my emotions, to trust someone fully and be like, oh, I see this as someone nice and I feel attracted, and then I give all my heart and I trust 100%. Because I was hurt many times by just being so like, blop, giving it all at once, my trust, my heart. And then because of doing it like that, and then I would kind of forgive and be like, start all over again, like new. But without noticing, I was damaging inside my trust capability.
Yeah.
And you had to face it. When we started our relationship, I was very distrustful. Like I would not trust at all. I mean, I trusted that God had a plan. I didn't give up hope. I didn't see like, okay, all guys now, I cannot trust anyone. But I saw that God used experiences to grow me in my character, in who I am, in my walk with Him. And so I saw that God used it all for good at the end. But I wish I was not so like giving so fully my whole heart and emotions, but a little more guarded and more like prayerful in that process until God truly revealed this is the one, not to be like all in. That would have saved me some struggles that later on I had to deal with. And yeah.
Well, I can definitely say you have come a long way, and I'm really,
Praise the
really, really
Lord.
thanking God for that. Because the first time when you pointed out something that you did not appreciate, and when I told you, like, I will work on it, and I saw your face was like no reaction. It was like, whatever. And it kind of hurt me to know that you didn't trust that I was going to make those changes. And again, another time there was something that you pointed out, and I said, I will change. And then again, no trust at all that I'm going to work on it. It kind of was hurtful to know that this girlfriend of mine that I truly believe God brought us together, and she doesn't trust me because I've never had that kind of issues before. If I had told someone something, they would believe me. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a relationship. My friends, everyone, when I shared something, they would trust me that I will work on that, or this project I will accomplish, or whatever. But to know that my girlfriend that I'm thinking I'm going to marry her soon doesn't trust me was kind of hurtful. But right now I don't have that feeling. So praise the Lord, because whenever I share, you're more listening and you're more understanding and willing to make those changes. So I'm really thankful to God for that.
Thank you for praying for me and for being patient in my process of healing, because truly it was a time of healing that God used you and our relationship also to be part of that healing process. And honestly, I was so burned by circumstances that I came to the point that I was like, yeah, I even remember I had never told someone like that. But I told you directly, like, well, everyone says anything, but only time tells if they really mean it. I want to
Yes.
see it with time. Words mean nothing to me. And I was like, whoa, like I just said it. But in a way, I think even though it hurts, sometimes truth, it's better than just being like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But inside, I don't trust at all. Like I was very open in where I was at. And I would be like, it's not that you have given me things to distrust, but just my life experience has made me distrustful. So I was so giving, so fully, just giving my heart, my emotions, my trust, 100%, time after time. But it was broken time after time. That then it was like, okay, I kind of went to the other extreme of self-protection. Like, you know what? I'm just not gonna trust until it's shown that it's trustworthy. But in a way, that was a huge growth for me as well, to be able to speak up how I truly felt and not lie to myself or to you like, oh yeah, well, thank you. And like, yeah. So thank you for the patience and praise the Lord because he helps us, and definitely a new pattern. And I guess with that also something else I learned is that not everyone is the same because someone has failed you, and many maybe have failed you over and over again. That doesn't mean there's someone that will be truthful and consistent and truly love you. And so to not give up that God has something better in our lives was so important to learn in that as well. And what is your last?
My final point is thinking that once a wife comes, my life will be fulfilled, and I can have a better life. It is going to be much easier. It's going to be much smoother. Actually, it is not true. I no, it is not true. You have to develop that every day as you put your work into it. It is not like
just happen.
yeah, it is not like a machine. It's not like a how do I say, like a washing machine. Yeah, you put all your dirty laundry in it, you put your detergent, you close it, you set it, and then you go away. It's not like that. You have to work. You have to work in it.
Wash by hand.
Yes, exactly. You have to work in your life, any aspect of your life. You have to work for that relationship, right? Whether friendships, parents and children relationship, or husband and wife relationship. You always have to work, and through that you will get a fulfillment. Because a lot of us have an assumption that, oh, if I marry, if only I get this girl, my life will be perfect, everything will be set, and I'll be settled. That's not true. That's not true. If only I get that girl, I marry because God brought her, and then we both will work together. Then we will have a fulfilled life. Because finding a girl is not the end of a movie, as they usually show in a lot of movies. This guy and the girl will be in a relationship, they have their issues, and then they finally come together and they get married, everything is fine. That is
Happily
not
ever after.
Yeah, exactly. That is not true. The moment you get married, now you have to start working on your side. The girl has to start working on her side, and then you will find the fulfillment in life of a married life.
Actually, just let me add a little thing. You need to start working when you're single,
Yeah.
then in the relationship, and then it
Exactly.
continues in marriage. So
Yes.
it starts from as soon as you are aware that you want a relationship.
Yeah,
Starts.
exactly. You have to have the life goals, your personal goals, and then you need to see what you want to look for in a woman. And then you start working on those things, you develop yourself. And then when you get married, it's not just a fulfillment right there, you're fulfilling life right there. But you both work together, and then you will have a fulfilled life. And another additional point is always pray together. Husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, always pray together for the relationship, for the marriage. Because if God is the one who is bringing you both together, God is the one that will keep you both together. In many cases, God might have brought people together, but because they have not worked, they don't see fulfilled life in it. And because they don't pray together, they are not willing to stay together and they separate. So, fulfillment in life. You have to have that fulfillment when you're single, and that will help you to be fulfilled in your married life.
Wow. A lot of things. Those are just few.
Yes, yes.
3 from each one of us. But the Happily Ever After, as the podcast channel is called, we chose that name because it's not a magic thing that happens like, like in Hollywood. At the end of the movie, it just
Yes.
happens. It's something you have to work on with God. And then we can experience a happy life forever with the Lord as we keep putting into practice and asking Him to fill us with His Spirit and give us the fruits of the Spirit: love, peace, joy, kindness, gentleness. We definitely need the fruits of the Spirit in marriage. Without them, we have anger, impatience, no love,
Resentment.
and, intemperance, like all of the above.
Yes, yes.
So,
So, well, we have come to the end of another episode. Now, if you have things that you wished you knew when you were single, please put it in your comments. Put it in the comment section. Also, if you want us to share more things that we knew when we were single,
we wish
we wish we knew when we were single, post that in your comment as well.
Yes, there are any other topics you would like for us to consider as we share openly what we've been learning and are still learning? We will be glad to see as well what you are interested in. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos, share it, like it, so that we can keep moving forward as God teaches us in this journey of marriage.
That's right. We will see you soon.